Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what they call inspiration. That people will say, well, what artists are you inspired by? And I naturally refer to Keith Haring, who was actually born in 1958, as was I, but he died at, I believe, 30 years old. But the reason that I, in a sense, would say I follow him and his work is that he was famous for creating spontaneous artwork out in public, and particularly initially in the subways, okay, with chalk, where many people could see it, millions daily. And now I've been putting my pieces out on the highways where a lot of people see it. But I personally never really gravitated to the artwork itself that he created. Um, I'm not saying I don't approve of it. It's just not something I'm following and trying to comply with, conform to. But I did watch videos of him on YouTube, and at one point I saw how he was inspired, and what they said was that his father had him doing drawings, doodles, whatever it is, as a child, and he didn't make too much of it. And then one day he saw the artwork of a man named Alachinsky in a museum, and it's Alachinsky was part of something called the Cobra movement, and I wrote it down here just so I could get it right. All right, it's an acronym for Copenhagen, Brussels, and Amsterdam. COBRAM. Okay, Cobra. And the artist, one of the artists, was Pierre Alachinsky. All right. Now, these particular artists were doing a kind of artwork that was more or less, I think, a protest against the world wars that had gone on. And there was a lot of color. To me, it looks kind of thrown together, but it's really not. It's good artwork. And I'm certainly nobody to criticize it. So I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to say is that from the report that I saw in the story, and the fact is that they actually showed a big Alachinsky painting in a museum, and the statement was that Keith Haring saw that, and when he saw that, he believed that there's no reason he couldn't put his works out in galleries, like, in other words, legitimized, so to speak. And I do believe that story. I mean, I wasn't there. Anybody could say whatever they want, a story. But I believe that just because I know personally that's the way it works. When you see something in art, as an artist, and you can see how it's legitimate, and it's a vein of your work to it, you feel like you can do yours in a legitimate way also.